understand your logistics. So we're gonna spend some time talking about numbers and how you can be as profitable as possible. So on average, you should be operating with a 1.5 break-even ROAS or less to be successful on Facebook. The reason for this is because Facebook is expensive. It's expensive to advertise, and on average, consumer data shows that it takes about $15 to $25 to get a sale of a product on average. So this is going to be important when you decide to pick the product and the perceived value of your product. On average, I like to focus on finding problem-solving products because they are going to be able to have a high perceived value. If a product solves something severe like knee pain, there's a greater chance that we can mark up this 3, sometimes even 5x the price because the pain is so significant, right? The problem is so significant, people are almost willing to pay for anything. But if I sell something like some clothing, a fidget spinner, something gimmicky and that doesn't really solve a problem, perceived value is very low. People aren't going to be as hungry to pay money, especially premium prices, to solve a product. So let's actually take a look at some numbers here and how you can easily calculate this. On average, to get a 1.5 break-even ROAS, you need to take the price of the product that you're looking to sell plus the shipping costs and times that by 3. Now we're going to use this example of this water flosser, right? It helps people get and remove plaque between their teeth and build up between their teeth. So this is great because it solves a problem. To calculate this easily, all you're going to do is go to this tool here called viralecomads.com/pages/breakeven-ROAS-calculator. And what you're going to do is put the cost of goods and your shipping costs together. And we're going to then times that by 3. So then you can see here we get a break-even ROAS as 1.5. The other important number to look at is the target CPA, right? What is your target CPA? All that is your cost per acquisition. How much does it cost to acquire a sale? You can see here, if our profit margin is $37.30, this is what our CPA is. I know I'm saying a lot of keywords and phrases and numbers. Just go back, rewatch this, and a few times after watching this, you'll totally understand everything and it'll all make sense. These numbers are important to understand, though, because now that I know that my profit margin or my target CPA is $37.30, this is my break-even number, right? So if I get a sale in the Facebook Ad Manager for $37.30, that means I broke even. But if this is $37.31, right, I got to sell for that amount, I lost money. If it's $37.29, great, I made money, I made a penny. So this number is important to understand, and you need to know your numbers, and more importantly, you need to have a good sourcer, or supplier in this case. If you go back into the course and go to building a store, under this training here, how to source your product, I show you 2 different ways you can find a good, reliable supplier that will fulfill your products for you at a good price. You don't want to find and source products through AliExpress because they're giving you a markup price, right? So realistically speaking, with my supplier, I can get this exact same product for maybe $9 tops, maybe even less than that. And this is super important because if I were to follow that rule that I just gave you of trying to 3x the price of your product, you can see that the total price that I would need to charge this for is right around $56. The problem with this is that the perceived value of this product is not $56. If we go on Amazon here, you can see on average, people are normally paying anywhere around $23 to $25 for this product. Now, that's not entirely the end all be all, right? You're not going to look down Amazon and say, oh, Amazon's charging $25, so I need to charge $25. In fact, I highly recommend that the perceived value of your product should be right around $40 or greater. Anything less than that makes it really hard to be profitable. Amazon isn't the end all be all like I just mentioned, but it's a really good idea of where we want to be. On average, you can charge right around $10 extra when you talk about the average price of a product on Amazon. So if the average price of this product is right around $24, on Shopify running as a Facebook ad with proper marketing, offers, and bundles, you can charge right around $33 and people won't bat an eye at that. When you start to charge more than that, $15, $20 upwards of that, unless you have something significant or unique about your product, like for example, this one has a bigger jug to hold more water and it's also more compact, I guess. This one has different heads. Unless you have something that's a higher premium value, like this one's marketed to people with braces and stuff like that, it's very hard to charge more than $20, the average price that we'll see on Amazon. That's when people will start to say, this is a little pricey. Let me go check and see if this is on Amazon. But if it's around $10, $15-ish more than it is on Amazon, you're fine. Okay, so know your numbers. One of the great benefits that you have inside of Social Brands Club is that you can get access to my private supplier. My private supplier is going to quite literally give you the best quotes, the best rates, so you'll be able to find really good products for really, really cheap. So it's going to make it very easy for you to charge extra money and make it even profitable. What's really cool about this too is that let's say the perceived value of this product is $34. Obviously, if I were to change that number down, you can see my break-even ROAS is way too high. Anything above a 1.7 is pretty much unscalable with Facebook, right? So for example, let's say I were to source this product, I probably could get this for right around $7, and I think $34 is still a great perceived value. So I don't need to lower the price of my product to compensate that. I could just leave it at $34, $35, whatever I want to do. And the great thing about it is that it makes it easier for me to walk around with more profit in my pocket, right? The lower your break-even ROAS is, the easier it is to be profitable. So if I'm running ads and let's say I have a campaign that's only doing a 1.9 return on ad spend, that's still very profitable for me and I can walk away with some good cash. So it makes it easier for your ads to not have to perform so well for you to be profitable. Versus if I was getting this for $18, I would need my ads to, at bare minimum, be around a 2.5 return on ad spend. And for someone like you that may not have run a lot of money on Facebook ads, that's really, really high to be able to constantly achieve. That's really hard as well. All right. So you should know your CPA, cost per action. Stop using AliExpress, like I mentioned. Get a private supplier. You can literally just DM me or just watch the training. You might be wondering what's the difference between the two. There really isn't too much of a difference. The training in here, I break down how to use a specific tool called BS Dropshipping. They do charge you a few extra dollars, but they have a fully automated, fully cool dashboard where you can monitor and manage all your products being shipped out. So if you want to be more hands-on with the fulfillment and back-end process and see the shipping times, great. You can use something like this. But if you use my private supplier, you get better quotes, but they'll log into your Shopify dashboard as a team member, and then they'll be fulfilling the orders, and you kind of just have to keep communicating with them. It's a little bit more, it's less organized using a private supplier, but you do get more, a better quote. So those are the pros and cons. between the two. If you go with this version that I'm using a tool called BS Dropshipping in this training. It is free as well. So both options are free. It just matters what stage you are with your dropshipping journey and which one do you prefer. Some other additional things, I have a training on this: bundles, cart upsells, and post-purchase upsells. You need to make sure that you're bundling and creating good offers. I see it all the time. People just buy one, or set up their bundles or set up their website to have you purchase one product and that's it. One of the stores that I'm scaling in real time with the community is this store here. Nope, not that store. I believe it's this store here. And as you can see, it's a fountain for rabbits. And you can see here, most people make the mistake of just selling one of these items, but I have 2 other additional items where you can bundle and get additional filters. You can get an ebook, free shipping, de-shedding glove. And then let's say we go to add to cart here, you can see that there's additional upsell. So this is a cart upsell. I have an extended warranty, which is just a digital asset that I can sell and then get additional money to make it easier to be profitable. So there's multiple things, and something else that I can't show you now, but I have a post-purchase upsell as well. So someone, once they check out, they will see that, hey, look, you're prompted to buy another one. If you want to save some money, get 50% off. So it just makes it easier to be profitable, because the more money someone spends, the easier it is to be profitable. There'll be more trainings on this inside the program, of course. So yeah, my goal is to be on average right around a 1.3 ROAS. The better you do of increasing your average order value, the easier it is to run ads and be profitable. One customer can buy a ton of stuff on your website, and that can make you a 2.5 or 3x return on ad spend. Shoot for an AOV of around 1.5 to 2x greater of your price of your offer. So if I'm selling something for $29.99, on average, I need my AOV to be right around $45 to $60. And if it's not around this, that means you're leaving money on the table. Quick little hack for you, like I just mentioned a moment ago, you can see here when someone goes to add to cart, there's this little like add-on where they can add a extended warranty. The cool thing about this is that I just created this as a product and added it as a cart upsell. I literally don't have to do anything because it's a digital product technically, and I don't have to fulfill on it. I don't have to use a refund. And basically all I'm doing is just shipping the product to them, and then they get this as an additional add to cart upsell. And with a warranty, it's just one of those things that just basically allows you to get more money for free. Now, I personally like to do this for things that are electronic goods. You can also do another version of this, which is just a standard shipping insurance. And I charge anywhere between $4 to $6 on to be able to do this. $4 to $6 on average, depending on how good of a product I'm selling. Like what is the premium quality of it, I will charge a little bit more. And basically, again, it's just a nice little add-on. And the cool thing about this is that you can have this auto checked on and leave it on. And most people just don't even bother turning it off. They actually probably want it and leave it turned on. So nice little easy hack there for you to scope up some extra cash for free. And yeah, that's kind of logistics. So know your numbers. Get in contact with the actual private supplier. Just shoot me a DM and I'll send you the contact information if you want to use my private supplier. Or if that's a little bit much for you to manage, you can also set up, go into the training and watch this how to source your product video as well. Cool. See you guys all in the next training.